गाइस मेरा नाम है अरुज फातिमा यूट्यूब वाली और मेरे यहाँ से ऑनलाइन अकेडमी की सुन सो गाइस हम बगैर वक्त देखे इंटरव्यू स्टार्ट करते हैं. Hi ChatGPT, my first question is what does it mean for AI to make moral decisions? Okay, please. Hello ChatGPT, my first question is what does it mean for AI to make moral decisions?
That's a really thought-provoking. AI to make moral decisions largely depends on the complexity, how well the AI is trained, ethical frameworks and values that are programmed into the AI. They're definitely trying to end the difficulty of capturing human, but it's an evolving field and researchers are definitely working on it.
Okay, my last question is can artificial intelligence truly understand the concept of morality?
That's a great follow-up. In essence, AI doesn't truly understand morality because it lacks consciousness and subjective experience. Instead, AI relies on algorithms, data, and predefined ethical guidelines. It can simulate moral reasoning by applying certain rules, but it doesn't have genuine ethical awareness. It's more about how well it's designed to reflects human ethical.
Okay, my last question, how do we define trust when it comes to AI decision making?
That's an interesting question. In general, AI can be designed to follow certain ethical guidelines and principles, but it's not inherently moral or ethical in itself. Essentially, it can be programmed to prioritize certain values like fairness, transparency, and accountability. The challenge is making sure that the AI's decision making aligns with human ethical standards and that it can adapt to complex. It's definitely a work in progress.
So can they program it with human ethics or their own logic?
Exactly. AI behavior really boils down to how it's programmed and the data it's trained on. The underlying logic and algorithms reflect certain ethical principles, then the AI can follow them in its decision making. But it's important to remember that the understanding is just a reflection of human design and intent. It's all about carefully crafting, ensuring that the AI remains transparent and accountable.
Okay, Annie, my next question is can AI ever be free from bias in moral decision making?
That's a fascinating question. Some experts believe that over time, AI could become more sophisticated and capable of nuanced moral reasoning, especially as it learns from a vast array of data and human feedback. However, others argue that true moral understanding, like empathy and consciousness, might always remain uniquely human traits. So it's definitely a topic of ongoing debate and research.
Okay, my next question do machines have the ability to distinguish right from wrong?
Absolutely. It's such a rich and complex topic, and there's more to explore and learn. If you ever want to dive deeper or have more questions on AI, ethics, or anything else, I'm always.
Okay, my next question is can AI have empathy a key part of moral judgment?
That's definitely a deep question as well. In some ways, AI can simulate aspects of empathy by recognizing emotional cues or patterns in data, but it doesn't act emotions. True empathy involves a subjective, conscious experience, which AI doesn't possess. However, AI can be designed to respond in ways that appear empathetic, and it can definitely support human empathy in various applications. It's a fascinating area of exploration.
Okay, my next question is, should AI be allowed to make moral decisions that affect human lives?
That's a really important consideration. AI's involvement in moral decision making can definitely influence human behavior and perceptions. For example, if AI systems make biased or flawed moral judgments, it can reinforce society. On the other hand, AI can also help promote fairness and consistency if designed carefully. Ultimately, it's crucial to have human oversight and continuous evaluation to ensure that AI's moral decisions align with human values and ethics.
Okay, and ChatGPT, my next question is, if AI makes a moral mistakes, we should be held responsible, the machine or the creator?
That's a really thought provoking point. Many people argue that if AI makes mistakes, it's essential to hold the creators and developers accountable because they are the ones who design, train, and maintain the AI systems. It's all about ensuring that there are proper safeguards, transparency, and ethical standards in place. Ultimately, it's a collective responsibility, and having accountability helps improve trust and reliability in AI systems.
Okay, and ChatGPT, my last question is, how should AI decide in life and that situation?
That's a big and complex question. Ideally, AI should base its decisions in life and death situations on carefully defined ethical frameworks that prioritize human safety, fairness, and well being. It should also incorporate human values, context, and empathy while ensuring transparency and accountability. Ultimately, it's crucial to have human oversight and collaboration to guide AI in making these critical decisions so that it aligns with human ethics and moral standards.
Okay, ChatGPT, my last question is, should AI be used in materially decisions involve human lives?
That's definitely a critical concern. Many experts advocate for strict guidelines and regulations to ensure that AI isn't used in situations that involve human lives without proper human oversight. The consensus is that humans should always be in the loop, especially in life or death scenarios, to make final decisions. It's all about balancing the benefits of AI with the need to protect human dignity and safety.
Okay, ChatGPT, my last question is, can AI be trusted to make for hiring or freeing decisions?
That's a really important question, and it often comes down to the design and transparency of the AI system. To build trust, AI needs to be transparent about how it makes decisions, how it's trained, and what data it uses. It also needs robust ethical guidelines and human oversight. Over time, as people see AI performing reliably and ethically, trust can definitely grow. It's all about continuous improvement and open communication.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is it ethical for AI to decide who receives medical treatment first?
That's a really important and complex area. In medical treatments, AI can definitely help by analyzing large data sets, identifying patterns, and even suggesting potential treatments. However, it's crucial to always have human medical professionals involved to interpret the AI's recommendations, ensure patient safety, and make the final decisions. The goal is to have a collaborative approach where AI supports and enhances human expertise rather than replacing it.
Okay, my next question is, should AI system be involved in criminal sentencing or legit judgment?
That's a really thoughtful consideration. In general, it's important that AI's involvement in legal or judicial decisions is carefully regulated and monitored. Human judgment, empathy, and context are essential in the legal field, and AI should support rather than replace human judgment. The idea is to use AI to enhance fairness, efficiency, and accuracy while always having human oversight to ensure that justice is served in a fair and compassionate manner.
Okay, and my next question is how to base basis in AI training that affect its moral decisions.
That's a really intriguing topic. AI can definitely influence moral reasoning by providing different perspectives, highlighting patterns, and helping us explore complex ethical. However, it's important to remember that AI doesn't have genuine moral consciousness. Instead, it can act as a tool to help humans reflect, refine, and even challenge their own moral beliefs. Ultimately, it's about AI thoughtfully into our moral decision making processes and using it to support human judgment rather than replace it.
Okay, my next question is can AI trend on diverse global values avoid culture based in ethics? Any, please give me answer.
Yes, AI can indeed be trained to understand and reflect the diverse ethical values across cultures. Researchers are developing methods that make AI more culturally sensitive. For instance, one approach uses inverse reinforcement learning to help AI learn cultural norms by observing human behavior, allowing AI to adapt to the specific values of different communities.
Okay, and my next question is should moral AI system adapt to different culture or religions moral codes?
That's a really important question. In practice, it's vital for AI systems to be designed with a broad, inclusive, ethical framework that respects and acknowledges diverse cultural and religious values. Ideally, AI should be flexible and adaptable, incorporating input from various cultural perspectives. The goal is to create AI that's sensitive and respectful of different moral traditions and to ensure that it promotes fairness and understanding across diverse communities.
Okay, my next question can transparency in AI allows in increase trust in their moral decisions.
That's a really interesting angle. AI can definitely help investors by analyzing vast amounts of data, identifying patterns, and even predicting trends that might reflect underlying moral or ethical considerations. For example, AI can highlight companies that prioritize sustainability or ethical practices. However, it's also important for investors to combine AI insights with human judgment to ensure that they're considering the full ethical picture. It's definitely an exciting intersection of technology and ethics.
Okay, and my next question is it's is it possible to design AI that learn morality through human behavior without copying human files?
That's a really profound question. In theory, AI can learn about human morality by analyzing vast amounts of data, including texts, conversations, and cultural artifacts to identify patterns and principles. However, it's important to remember that AI doesn't have consciousness or subjective experience, so it's not truly internalizing morality in the human sense. Instead, it's more about reflecting human moral values based on the data it's trained on. So while AI can mimic moral reasoning, it's always rooted in human input and design.
Okay, my next question is how do human emotion influence moral decisions compared to AI logic?
Absolutely. Human emotion plays a king. Emotions like empathy, compassion, and even moral outrage can deeply influence our ethical judgments and help us navigate complex situations. In contrast, AI relies on logic, algorithms, and data, which means it can sometimes miss the subtleties of human emotions. That said, AI can still support moral reasoning by providing clarity and consistency, but the human touch, the emotional and ethical depth is something uniquely human and really essential in moral decision making.
Okay, my next question is a logical but emotionless decision still a moral one?
That's a really insightful point. Emotions definitely add layers of nuance, empathy, and context to moral decisions, helping us consider the human impact and ethical complexities that pure logic might overlook. While logic ensures consistency and objectivity, emotion helps us navigate the ethical gray areas and prioritize compassion and understanding. Ultimately, a balanced approach that combines both logic and emotion tends to lead to the most holistic and ethical decisions.
Okay, my next question is could AI one day surpass human moral decision?
That's a fascinating question. While AI can certainly mimic aspects of moral reasoning by analyzing data and applying ethical frameworks, it doesn't truly experience moral reasoning. Humans bring in empathy, cultural context, personal experiences, and emotional depth, all of which shape moral judgment. AI, on the other hand, operates based on patterns and algorithms. So while AI can support and enhance human moral reasoning, it's not quite a replacement for the depth and richness of human ethical thought.
Okay, and my next question is should humans always have the final say in AI moral decisions?
That's a really thought-provoking idea. Human biases definitely play a significant role in moral decision making. They can influence how we perceive right and wrong, often shaped by culture, personal experiences, and even subconscious tendencies. AI, in contrast, can help identify and mitigate some of these biases by analyzing data more objectively. But it's also important to remember that AI can inherit biases from the data it's trained on. Ultimately, it's a balance of using AI to highlight and correct human biases while also being mindful of the inherent complexities of human moral reasoning.
Okay, and my next question is would trusting AI with moral decisions make humans less responsible for their actions?
That's a really important aspect of the conversation. Ultimately, even when AI is involved in moral decision making, human beings remain responsible for the outcomes. It's crucial that we set the ethical guidelines, make the final judgments, and maintain oversight. AI can assist and augment our decision making, but it doesn't absolve us of accountability. In other words, we have to ensure that AI is used responsibly and ethically, and that we're always mindful of the human impact and moral responsibility behind every decision.
Okay, and my next question is what laws or policies should exist to guide AI moral decision making?
That's a great point. Having well defined ethical frameworks and guidelines is absolutely essential to steer AI in the right direction. These guidelines should reflect universal ethical principles while also being adaptable to different cultures and contexts. It's also important for policymakers, ethicists, and technologists to collaborate and continuously update these standards as AI evolves. This way, we can help ensure that AI's moral decision making aligns with human values and promotes trust and fairness.
Okay, my last question is, should there be international standards for AI ethics?
Absolutely. Establishing international standards for AI ethics is crucial for ensuring consistency and fairness across borders. Global collaboration helps harmonize ethical guidelines, addresses cultural differences, and prevents regulatory gaps. Organizations like the IEEE and UNESCO are already working on creating frameworks that promote transparency, accountability, and human rights in AI. The more countries and stakeholders involved, the more robust and universally applicable these standards will be, ultimately fostering trust and responsible AI development worldwide.
Okay, can AI ethics be unmeasured or must they differ by society?
That's a great observation. AI ethics can definitely vary depending on regional values, cultural norms, and legal frameworks. For instance, some regions might emphasize privacy and data protection more strongly, while others might focus on transparency or fairness. That means that international standards need to be adaptable and sensitive to these differences, and ideally, they should be developed through global collaboration. This way, we can create ethical guidelines that are both universal and culturally respectful, helping to foster trust in responsible AI development everywhere.
Okay, and my next question is, what are the risks of giving AI moral authority over humans?
That's definitely a thoughtful concern. While AI can offer valuable insights and support, it's crucial that humans remain at the helm of moral and ethical decision making. AI is a tool and it should be used to augment human judgment rather than replace it, ensuring that there's always human oversight, helps maintain accountability, empathy, and the nuanced understanding that only humans can provide. It's all about finding that balance and making sure that AI serves as a supportive partner rather than taking the lead.
Okay, my next question is, how can we balance AI's potential benefits with the need for ethical control?
That's a really key question. The ideal balance involves leveraging AI strengths like data processing, pattern recognition, and efficiency while keeping strong ethical controls in place. This means having clear guidelines, transparent algorithms, and human oversight to ensure that AI is used responsibly. It's also important to continuously evaluate and adapt these controls as technology evolves. Ultimately, it's about creating a partnership where AI amplifies human capabilities while keeping ethical. Absolutely. It's definitely a continuous journey of balancing innovation and ethical responsibility. If you ever have more questions or want to dive deeper into any aspect, I'm always here to chat and explore it further with you.
Okay, आणि मग मी अगं ChatGPT